Alright guys, well, here we go, another video, another week. Well, we'll start right with the numbers. Well, boom, 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 numbers. Yeah, we're going to kick this thing out, right? I'll probably have more filler words than anything. So I am 284 pounds. Yes. 5 pound weight loss for the week. And it's great. It's great. I've lost 186 pounds. That's where I'm losing. That's where I think I'm getting confused. I've lost 186 pounds. I'm 284 pounds. Very confusing. Yeah, so love it. I got like 59 pounds left to my goal. That's so nice. So yeah, I'm feeling great. And I just hit 9 months post-op, so feeling pretty good about that. This week definitely did a lot of working out, a lot of running, a lot of everything. I did some runs. Pretty good. Definitely need to keep running. I felt a little dragged out and everything, a little tired. So need to do that. I'm going through physical therapy right now, just because of all these pains in my leg, all this kind of stuff. So they're really working me over pretty well, and it's actually helped me to really get my runner stance. So they're really working on my runner stance and everything with me. So it's good. It's good. This place does sports medicine and stuff like that too. So it's really, yeah. Also had a chance to work out with the wife, and that was pretty fun. That was pretty fun. We had a little competition on the row machine. I definitely beat her, but we shouldn't have done a competition. So it's actually a water rowing machine. So it has a thing of water and paddles, and so when you're doing it, you're actually getting water resistance. Instead of just weight resistance or whatever other rowing machines have. I don't know. It's the only machine I use. But it's pretty cool because we just went at it, and it was so funny. I smoked her pretty good. I think I beat her by almost 100 meters. But we both went for about 3.5 minutes is all we had in us. So it's become a part of my workout now. I'm doing much better, but because I'm not racing her every time. But yeah, it is taking my time and doing that. And because when I go to the gym, I just don't really. I get bored running on the treadmill. I think it's because when I run my runs, I can look at the houses, I can look at what's going on, and I can't do that on the treadmill. I'm just like staring, like okay, looking out the window, okay, and wishing I was out there running. So it's too stinking hot during the day to run, and I'm just gonna run at night. So I bought the little headlight thing, so it'd be a little bit safer, and I can see where I'm going and stuff. Um, I haven't ran with it yet though, but I'm sure it's gonna be okay. I usually do a about a mile and a half on the treadmill. Just book it. I just sprint, run as hard as I can, and do about a mile and a half on that. Get it over with in about 10, 15 minutes, and then I move on to doing lifting weights and stuff like that. And then I'm in either with a bike or now with this rowing machine. And I think I'm going to do the rowing machine more. I think I get a more full body workout. And it's actually, rowing is supposed to really help running. So, yeah, that's what I'm doing. A big storm moved through Chicago. Sucked. It was fine for us. Like, we got flickering power on and off and everything. It's supposed to be one of the worst storms in 10 years. But we didn't get a whole ton of rain or anything like that. But apparently, about 6 blocks away from us, there was a suspended uh, big giant limb of a tree. And around 10:30 that night, after it was like 6 o'clock in the morning, the storm moved through, and at like 10:30 that night, the tree limb gave way and knocked our power out. Well, there were already 600,000 people without power, and so they were already working on them, and they took a sweet time getting to us. So there are actually still people without water, power, right now on Wednesday afternoon, and this was Monday or Sunday night, Monday morning that this came through. So it sucked. So we didn't have power for just a little under 24 hours. But I stayed home from work. We got stuff together, and I was able to do it. Chloe do everything that needed to be done. Chloe and I slept in the Jeep that night, and I just wasted gas and had the air conditioner running. It was so humid. It was like, even if we would have pitched a tent outside, it wouldn't have done any good. So it was so hot. And without power, no fans, stuff like that, it just was terrible. So I put her in the Jeep, and got in the Jeep, and she snuggled up in the back, and I just turned the air conditioner on and just left the car running most of the night. New car, you can do that. Not advisable though, but you can do it. So yeah, so we got the power back on now, and feeling pretty good about that. One last thing, I want to do a little get to know Staley thing. People have been saying stuff and commenting on stuff and that through Facebook, and I realized, man, people probably just don't know who I am. So I'll give the brief synopsis rundown so that you guys can understand who I am and where I come from. I'm a guy who jokes around. Yeah, I really don't find too much serious about life, so I just say joke around and have fun with it. Well, I find things serious about life, but I still say joke around and have fun with it. I, I real early on, like in high school and then out of high school, I always hung out with guys that just like they just thought they were too cool for school. I mean, it was like if you joked around and they would joke around, but it was like sarcastic, ripping on you, cutting you down, stuff like that. And so, but if you just did, every day, looked at life lightly, it wasn't cool for them. That's not what was going to get them the ladies and all this kind of stuff. And as a guy who wasn't very high up on the totem pole in our little clique, I just kind of became the brunt of the jokes and stuff like that. And all the time I would joke around, it would be like, "Oh, quit being stupid. You're so retarded, Stanley." Whatever. So, good thing was, through different situations, I ended up not being a part of this group anymore, and that it just got better and better. I did work for a time in a bar in college. Well, most of my college career was spent working at this bar, so I can't say just a little while, but these people were too cool for school too. So, uh, and I just never really found my niche. And so, once that kind of ended and got with the wife and we moved away, I just was like, I'm just going to be me. And and everybody that comes around me is just going to have to deal with that. And if they don't like it, well, then they can find another friend. Through that, there were a lot of people that found other friends. But no, like I said, no big deal to me. I never had a big issue, probably until the last maybe couple of years, of not really having a ton of friends. Because I went through that period where I had all these friends, but it was like none of these friends would take a bullet for you. You know what I mean? Like people that I considered my best friends. Now I want to say there's one person, he actually subscribes to this channel. You know who you are, Bill. So he subscribes to my channel. He was my friend since second grade. He was actually a part of this clique too, but Bill and I were different. Bill Bill was a part of this clique, and he still hangs out with these guys and everything, but he was always different. And so I want to be very clear about that, because I wouldn't even have said anything if Bill was, because I know he watches my videos. So um, Bill was a real friend. I mean, Bill was a real friend, and I definitely was not always appreciative of that enough, and I definitely kind of screwed him over a couple times, and probably is why we're not best friends anymore. But we're still kosher with each other, and it's all good. So yeah, but it was all the other people. So and so yeah, it kind of affected the way I interacted with people, and I actually turned out to be quite introverted. I made a comment the other night, and Carrie, she said, yeah, you're introverted, whatever. Actually, I'm extremely introverted. I'm I took a test, and I'm on this freakishly weird part of the test. I'm what you would call a relational introvert. What that means is if you become a part of my friendship circle, the circle of trust, then I am cool with you. And I will be the most outgoing person, and I will be, you know, I'll chairman all the parties, and I'll get all the stuff together, and I'll be the person making sure everybody's happy and giving high fives and be the rowdy crazy one. But if you introduce 2 or 3 people into that group that I don't really know, I start to freak out a lot. I start to shut down, and I don't do very well. I'm not a guy who can just go out and meet people. Here's an example. Example was we just had a block party the other night, Saturday, and is right outside my house, kind of up the street a little bit. And there was a point where my daughter loves block parties because she can ride her bike on the street, and she really wanted to do it. Well, we weren't going to go to the block party until later because we'd already made plans to walk to downtown and get dinner and stuff like that. And so my wife was getting ready, and I wanted to let Chloe ride her bike for a little bit, and I got my chair out that I was going to take to the party, my, you know, the little collapsible chairs, a chair in a bag or whatever you put, and I got it out, and I walked to the edge of my privacy fence, right outside of the view of where they could see me, and I sat down because I couldn't bring myself to just go over there and sit down. I didn't know any of these people. Like, these were people that I haven't really met in the neighborhood or anything like that. I couldn't do it. And so I sat there, and eventually some of them ended up walking far enough that they could see me, and they're like, "Hey, come on down." And I'm like, "Oh, we're getting ready to go to dinner." Like, that's why I sat back here, just so you know, you guys wouldn't think that I was, you know, whatever. So, and then that night when we came back, I actually took my chair, and my wife went out and she was gabbing it up with everybody, and I found the outer limits. Like, there was a row of chairs on the outer limits, and I sat right there around no one. And I rarely said anything to anybody. In fact, most of the night I either was making joking comments on Facebook, or I actually played video games on my phone and drank some beers, maybe more than I should have. You know, but if I would have had 1, 2, 3 friends come, it would have been a great time. I would have had just talked it up with everybody, blah 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 blah. But I'm just not that way. I'm introverted, and I don't know. Like I said, I don't know if it's because my past or what it is, but I just found that that's how I flow. So if you want to know these videos, do I joke around? Am I crazy wild? Yes. But if I was in a group with you guys, I don't know. I've always wondered, like, if I go to next year's meet and greet in Las Vegas, what would I be like? You know, I have no idea what I'll be like. I might be crazy wild fun, or I might be like just sitting in the corner like, "Hi guys, hi, come stay." I don't know. I have no idea. Um, Videos. I mean, really, guys, I'm talking to a camera. You know, I rarely ever visualize like Mama Rose sitting in front of me or anything like that. Like, I'm just talking to a video camera, and yeah, you're my imaginary friends. Things going on this week. We're going this weekend on our first family vacay day. Vacay day. That's all it is. We're going downtown Chicago, and we're gonna just walk around all day and toy it up and sweat and all that good stuff. So my wife and I have not been down there together. I've taken Chloe one time with my grandmother and my niece, and that's the only time. So I mean, I've been down there a lot with friends and stuff like that, but this is gonna be our time. We're just gonna walk, and we're gonna go shopping and all this kind of stuff. So, and then the next week, I actually have a big. I'm going back down to Champaign, where I went to school, and there's a wedding, and we're gonna spend a lot of money there because it's gonna be bad. But yeah, so I got a lot of things coming up. Still gonna keep running, still gonna keep doing my thing. I'm hoping. I'd love to have another 5 pound weight loss next week. I just hit my knee. Gosh. Ow. Okay, well, see y'all later. Peace out and stuff.